Story starters, narrative writing. Today's lesson will help you write with purpose and figure out how to start your story. Make your story more engaging. Are you ready? Let's get started. Think to yourself, what is the most difficult part of writing a story? What's your story? Talk to your neighbor. What is the most difficult part of writing a story? Share with the class. Today, we will learn about story starters and their purpose. Learn about four engaging story starters. Use multiple story starters to see what works best for your narrative. What are story starters? Story starters are strategies to consider when writing a story to make the beginning more engaging and purposeful. Types of starters. Number one, setup, talking, landscape, character. Setup starter. You are here. So the writer quickly establishes the circumstances and stakes of the story in a few opening lines. Setup starter example. The writer quickly establishes the circumstance or stakes of the story in a few opening lines. None of this would have happened if it wasn't for David. He is the one who talked me into singing up for the track team. I would have never guessed that decision would lead to my biggest humiliation. Attempt a setup starter. Take 3 minutes and try to start your story with lines that establishes the circumstances or stakes. For example, none of this would have happened if it wasn't for David. He's the one who talked me into signing up for the track team. I would have never guessed that decision would lead to my biggest humiliation. Talking starter. The writer uses a line of dialogue with a purpose. The dialogue should reveal information that enriches the story. Talking starter example. The writer uses a line of dialogue with a purpose. The dialogue should reveal information that enriches the story. For example, I couldn't believe we didn't get a snow day. My sister murmured as she adjusted the hood of her corduroy coat to shield her curled hair from the wind. Landscape starter example. The writer opens the story with a description of the setting that will be important to the story. For example, I yearned as I woke up from my mid-afternoon nap, warm from the Florida sun. The sound of the ocean's waves and the distant speaker quietly playing pop music had lulled me to sleep. As I stressed and considered putting on sunscreen, I heard someone yell from the water. Character starter. The writer opens the story with a description of a character that will be important to the story. The writer opens the story with a description of a character that will be important to the story. For example, Sarah walked into the classroom with her rolling bag. She took her seat in the back of the room and quickly finished out her tablet to draw. This wasn't art class, but Sarah didn't care. Every second was an important opportunity for her to create something unique and beautiful. Read through your starter attempts. Number one, which starter is most effective in sharing information? Which starter do you like the most? Which starter is the most engaging? Use these story starters to create effective and engaging opening lines to your narrative writing. All right, guys, that's all for today. Thank you for watching and see you soon with another new video. Keep watching, keep practicing, and don't forget to be awesome.